Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good morning everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to another edition of the XtraTrader.com weekend update show. Thank you very much for tuning in, spending a few minutes with us, and hopefully you'll have an amazing weekend. Guys, all I ask is take a second out, support the channel, click that like button. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, again, I will continue to point you in the right direction. So, first full week officially in the books. Bulls did a great job the previous week of reclaiming back the 50-day moving average. That's been kind of the teeter-totter effect. Most for the last 2 months or so over the 50, again, bullish, below the 50, bearish. We reclaimed back that 616 level. Last week, we talked about in the last video, that 623 important level that the Qs reclaimed back. And now we are a hop, skip, and jump away from testing the December highs, which is very, very important, obviously, if you are a bull bias trader. The unique part about the first week, and bulls did a good job, first week of the year, up 2%, and which was really amazing considering how much weakness there were in a lot of leaders, right? And a lot of leaders for the majority parts of the last 3-4 weeks, we've seen extraordinary weakness in Apple and AMD and Tesla, in shares of all the quant names, Snow, a lot of names, weakness. But for the most part, right, for the most part on the strength side, the market has been guided by a lot of strength as well. Amazon has been on a tear, an absolute tear. We talked about that 35.50 several videos ago, the importance of that reclaim. Again, just a magic move so far in the last 5 days. Magical Hulk green bars, green candles to kind of close the week. Very, very strong. Google has been also a very, very consistent performance. One of the very few names that when we lost the 50-day moving average several weeks ago, it never really went down and never came close to violating the 50-day moving average as well. And you can see here it's harboring pretty much at all-time highs. And then you get to the storage names. Quietly, over the last year or so have been just going nuts. Micron, again, SanDisk. SanDisk is not really a name I could trade. It's just very, very thin. Trades in a $1.50 spread, 100 share lots. My God, if you're wrong, first of all, you can't get in. And then if you're really wrong, you can't get out. So it's not really a name that I focus on. But you can see you can't take away the strength of the group. SanDisk, Micron, Texas Instruments has been really, really strong with a very, very very important base flag forming as of right now. You have names like STX also in the storage name, WDC also in the storage name, just a very, very strong group. So if you've been wondering over the last 2 weeks, how can all these leaders be down while the NASDAQ is ripping? Well, these stocks are NASDAQ 100 as well. So very, very strong showing. And the most important part, the biggest takeaway that I saw towards the end of the week is finally some signs of life from a lot of names that have not participated, right? I made a joke. Apple hasn't had a green day since Nixon was in office. And finally, Apple stopped going down 2 days ago, right? Stopped going down 2 days ago. And you can see here, it broke the 50-day moving average. And it really just hit pretty hard from like 277 all the way down to 255 in about 5 sessions. Again, the point of the 50-day moving average. Again, it's a very, very strong pivot. But you can see here in the last 2 days, it kind of stopped going down. Is this going to be finally the start of some sort of recovery? Well, the options market is coming in for next week's 260, some 265 guessing bets that it will start to kind of recover. Tesla, which was awesome for the last 4 weeks, pretty much to the downside, we caught a pretty good wave on it on Friday. Congratulations for all you guys who caught the trade with me. Again, it was the same type of scenario. It stopped going down and it closed right right below the 5-day moving average on Thursday, which was literally $1.50 away from the previous day's range. I like a range to be at least 2-3 days before I deem it valid. And once, Tesla started, coming in on weakness on Friday at the open, you started seeing some pretty good call buying coming out of weakness on weekly expiration, the 0 days till expiration for Friday's expiration, the 440s and the 445s, and Tesla went bananas, really went aggressive, finally started reclaiming back the 5-day moving average. I thought there was a shot we can get to the 50, which was 44 and a quarter. We got down to about 25% size at 44 and a quarter, and my target for the day was 47. The reason why it was 47, that was the 10-day moving average, traded up to 49, but it was a really good move for Tesla. Now that it's above the 50-day moving average, the key is don't give it back, right? Number one, do not give it back. And second of all is reclaim back that 10-day supply, because if it could reclaim back that 10-day supply, well, you can see the next supply is all the way up to here above 462. So again, very bullish close, at least for 1 day on Tesla going into Monday. Let's see if we could build off that momentum from Friday's really good turnaround, reclaiming back the 5, the 50, and the 10-day moving average, where it got kind of a pregnant pause, where it got stalled out. So that was very good as well. Names like AMD, right? AMD can't participate. Can't participate no matter what. It got rejected at the 50-day moving average about a week ago. And there's been nothing but down. Like, this thing has no idea that the market is strong. Is there something going on underneath the belly of the beast that we don't know about? I have no idea, but so far it's not giving us any indication that there is going to be a turnaround, like with I don't want to say oversold. I hate using that word, but sometimes the sellers just get tired, right? That's what happened with Apple, and that's definitely what happened with Tesla. But for AMD, you got to really watch this bottom range here. The November lows are really not that far away. And if, again, I'm always prepared on both sides of the market. If AMD starts losing the, November lows at some point, it will get pretty aggressive. Let's talk about NVIDIA, right? Last couple of weeks, we've been talking about NVIDIA testing the 50-day moving average. How many times can you test without going through? It finally went through, and that's a very important point going into this week, right? You can see here you can just see here how many times it held its light blue line. It held it like 5 times, right? 5 times in the last several weeks. We finally got our first close below it on Thursday, and just like everything else that reversed, it could not. And that's a very important point. We did see some 182.50 puts coming in for this week. We saw some 180 puts coming in for this week. So I want to definitely keep an eye on NVIDIA. If it starts losing last week's channel, I think there is a shot it gets back down to 80. But again, if you are a bull, and we are, and you believe that the market is completely turning around, and all the stocks that were stuck in the mud for the last several weeks that couldn't participate, they're finally waking up. Well, the bull case is, well, if it gets back above the 50-day moving average, and sure, I would definitely be a buyer if it gets back above the 50-day, but the fact that it closed day 2 below the 50-day moving average, the significance of the 50-day, and the longer that it cannot rally back above the 50-day, it will give it a higher probability that more selling will come in. Same thing with PLTR. PLTR had this really aggressive day, 2-day run last week, and gave it all back, right? And now you kind of have the same scenario as NVIDIA did. Again, this is now day 2 close below the 50-day moving average. Did not participate in the last several days of buying all across the board with the bulls. Did not participate with the Tesla turnaround. Did not participate with the Meta turnaround. Did not participate with the Apple turnaround. And now the question is, does it lose last week's range, right? Again, day 2, the longer it builds, right? Look at NVIDIA, look at PLTR, or carbon copy. The longer it builds below the 50-day moving average, the higher probability that it will get pulled as well. And you can see here 3 times it stopped at the 89 EMA. A lot of you guys do not use the 89 EMA because, well, I only found out about 89 EMA about a year and a half ago, so it's a new thing to me. But that 89 EMA is very is very good. You can see it. You can see with your naked eye. It's held 3 times on that 89 EMA. But if it loses it this week, I will definitely be a seller in this thing to see if it could get back down to the lower channel of 168. Meta finally woke up a little bit of call buying. It's been an ugly stepchild pretty much from the month of November when it lost its 50-day moving average. On earnings, it's just been struggling. It's been stuck in channel. It's been very frustrating, especially that the NASDAQ right now is very, very strong. It has work to do. It definitely has work to do, but at least it finally took out a previous day's channel. I have no interest in this thing on the long side until it starts taking back the December highs, but at least you kind of get an idea that at least there's some sort of life to it, right? And that's all you can ask, some life to the stock. But again, you can clearly tell how much work it needs to do. Other names, Oracle has been beaten really, really aggressively ever since losing the 50-day moving average in October. Again, guys, if you've learned anything from me, remember, as long as the stock stays below the 50-day, it could stay there 2 days, it could stay there 2 weeks, or in the case of Oracle, it could stay there since October. And again, look at the beating that stock has taken. It's gone from 285 and traded all the way down to 184. Lost $100 in price per share since October. So when we talk about the 50-day moving average, don't just bat your eyes and say my stock will recover in 2 weeks. Again, ask the shareholders in Oracle how long it's been since it's recovered. But again, you can see it's nowhere near the 50-day moving average. But at least, again, just like Tesla, just like Apple and Meta, it finally got back above and engulfed several days worth of selling. So again, encouraging signs for the NASDAQ as a whole. And now if we can start bringing back up a lot of names that didn't participate, it will only get better for more strength going into the new week. Some other names, let me kind of show you guys some other names that I'm watching that has nothing to do with mega cap technologies. Just some names I like, some names I saw that looked interesting, and I will share a few names with you. Look at Wolf. Right? Look at Wolf. Wolf is not a name I follow, but Wolf is getting very, very tight. Had a nice run here, a nice run towards the start of January, and that was just flagging kind of right underneath the 50-day moving average. You can see here it stopped at the same level literally 4 times since the end of December. All it needs to do is have that first close above the 50-day moving average, and this thing can wake up. Look at a small stock like PEW, okay? Look at that expansion candle, guys, right? You see average days, this thing traded 500,000 shares, 300,000 shares, 400,000 shares, 400,000 shares. This thing traded on Friday 10 times volume, right? And when you see an expansion volume bar like this, there's a good opportunity at some point down the road. It could be Monday, Tuesday, or next Columbus Day. At some point, it will follow through. The cool part about it is you get the expansion cycle, 10 times volume, and this is now the first close above the 50-day moving average. And we saw some pretty aggressive call buying coming in the name as well. Short-term $4.50 and $5 calls. So again, if you're trading smaller names, keep an eye on that as well. So going into Monday, I will be watching PLTR and NVIDIA for last week's lows to breach. I will definitely be watching Tesla for continuation from Friday's channel to reclaim back the 10-day moving average. I think Amazon and I think Amazon and Google need to kind of just relax for like 2-3 days. I'd like to see the other names kind of wake up, right? The stocks that were coming off the bottom, the Microsofts of the world, the Metas of the world, the Apples of the world, to see if we can get a stronger rally. But Amazon, Google's rock stars, absolute rock stars. They need a little bit of a breath. I think they're kind of like trading on the 12, 13, 14 floor. If you've been following me for a long time, you kind of know the reference of why that is important, while a stock like Tesla is just coming off the first floor as well, which is obviously much better value. So hopefully you guys have had an incredible, amazing, awesome first week of 2026. And guys, just remember, if you're trading the same way as you did in 2025, 2024, your trading doesn't magically get better because it's a new calendar, because it's a new year. You got to change your mindset, right? You got to change your mindset. You got to look at the market completely different as 99% of the traders. Because again, I've always said this for many, many times. If you're going to trade like 99% of the crowd, expect to get 99% of the crowd's results. Guys, have a great weekend, everybody. God bless. And with God's help, I'll see you all in the field come Monday. Take care.